Hello guys, welcome to Hola Tech. Today we are going to solve the Leetcode problem number 392, that is a subsequence. So let's understand what is the problem statement here is like they will be given a two strings, that is one is s, another is t, and we need to find whether s is contain is exist in the t, right? If it is so, we should return it as true. If not, we need to return it as false. So let's dive into more what the problem statement here is. So they basically asking all the characters in yes is available in the t, and it should be in the sequential. Okay, if a exists at the first time and b exists in the second time, correct, and c exists in the last time, then we can say it is true. Okay, what if something like they given you, say a b c, same itself, and if they given you a g c, correct? So we found a, correct, and we found b, no, right? And are we able to find c? So we don't go to c itself for checking if we don't find a b itself, right? So we are going to return it as a false in this condition. So this is a problem statement. Okay, now let's understand how are we going to solve this one. Okay, the algorithm which we are going to write for this. Okay, so now see how we can solve that. I always prefer going, whenever we found this kind of problems, right, I prefer going with the pointers. Why? Because pointer helps us to save the time complexities, right? And also the space complexities. So let's dive how we can solve it using a pointer. As you can see, when I take a one pointer, say it is I, and another pointer pointing for the t j. Okay, and if I compare the I and j's value, right, s of I and say s of I, if equals to s t of j, if it is equal, right, what I can do, I can move to the next, correct? I can move the I towards the next index, that is this one, right? So once if I'm able to move there, and I can say like I plus plus, and then this also I already found it. So what I can do, I can just erase and I can go to the next character, that is this one, j. J is already incremented, right? Here I wrote it. This is in the if condition. Okay, correct, and this is out of the if conditions. This always executes. Cool. Now when we are at this point, j is at say this is, let me write the index number also, 0 1 2 and 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, when we are at I equal to 1 and j is equal to 1, we will compare, are we this b and h are equals, no, right? So we increase the j pointer, that is this one. Okay, so j moves to b. Right now b is, I mean I is still at the b, right? And t of j is what, b now. So this is become b. So both are equals, correct? So what we do, we increase the I pointer. So now the I will be pointing to c, the last character, right? So j is increased already, right? So we can say like j pointer is also increased, that is we are pointing at this point. So we are at the last character. So this is c, correct? Let me erase this also. Now if you take s of I is c, correct, and this is going to be g, right? This is c and that is g. So are they equals? No. What we do, we just increase j, correct? So we increase the j here. So now j is pointing to d. Now this become d. Are they equals? No, right? We again increase j. correct? So now j is pointing to c, last character. Are they equals? True. If it is true, we increase the I, so it goes out of bound, right? So this is the dead end. It goes out of bound, and j goes to I out of bound. This also goes to out of bound. When any one of them is out of bound, we can return it as false, correct? This is a kind of a pseudo code, so hope you guys able to understand it. If you want some more explanation, let me give you guys a small example, right? So let's take another example. S is equal to say a b c, and t is equal to uh, say a h c, and yeah, this is both are same length. Okay, now I is pointing it here, j is pointing it here. When we are at this condition, it is true, right? We increase the I, so I is now points to this one at this b. Now j is already increased, so j is also points to h, so b and h are equals no, right? So if not, we are still at I at 0 1 2 0 1 2. Let me write this indexes, and the 0 1 2 0 1 2. Okay, and I it's still at 1 index, and j is already at last index, correct? So when we are at this moment, when we are at that point, right, last index, and we compared this b and c. If b and c is not equals, if b and c are not equals, what we should do, basically we can say it it is false, right? We went out of bound x here, right? We didn't reach the dead end, and we can say we are not able to find the equal characters, so we can return it as false. Cool. Now let's jump into the Leetcode platform to write this program. As I said, I'm going to take two variables, that is I pointing at 0 and var j pointing at 0. Okay, and I'm going to iterate as I was saying, right? I need to have a while loop. I have to iterate the length of the each string. Say yes dot length should be less than, okay, I should be less than s dot length, and j should be less than, what is that, t dot length. Okay, now what we should do, we should excuse me, we should write saying like s of I is equal to t of j, right? We should increase I counter, that is this one. Cool. Now if not, we can continue with the j counter. So once we are done with what we should return, if we need to check s of say I is counter, right? So I is definitely contains the length of the string, right? We can just say like compare this length is equal to the length of the given string. You might be wondering like, instead of returning false, why I'm returning this check. It is just a simplification. What we are doing it, if I is with the number of count we increased here, as you can see, let me show you guys. The I is getting increased until the end. When it reaches the end, we are at the size of the s. So size of s is, that is the length, and I, if both are equals, means we found it. If not, we are at this condition, right? And we are at this condition, that means I is equal to 1, and s dot length is 3. So in this case, what happens, it is going to return false, correct? So because of that only I wrote this condition. So now let's submit this code and see whether it works fine. Okay, I think there is a mistake here. S dot length, t dot length. Perfect, it works. So hope you guys able to understand the algorithm which I tried explaining over here. In case if you still have any doubt and clarification, feel free to write in the comment box. So also please don't forget to like and subscribe for more such videos. Stay tuned. Thank you so much guys. Bye bye.